Before you have a consultation call, I have got to tell you that you need to watch this video. I'm going to talk to you about the strategy before the call. And it is not about the Zoom link. It's not about the sales script. It is about something you are not even thinking about. And I promise you, when you listen to this episode, what I'm going to teach you will change everything for you, and it will increase the likelihood that you will get a yes on the call. This is actually kind of a second part to where I talked about the consultation call strategy. It's where I discussed having 800 consultation calls. Go back and listen to that episode if you haven't already. I will leave it linked below. Let me welcome you back. I'm Debbie Shadid. I help women over 50 build beautiful boutique-style coaching businesses without paid ads. Make sure you hit the bell and subscribe because I love to share strategies, real strategies to help you get clients every single week. So let me tell you about the strategy that comes before the actual call, and this is all about mindset. Stick with me here. You think that the strategy to get prepared for the call is to get the Zoom link, which, by the way, the Zoom link should be automatically delivered when they sign up for the consultation call. You should have the reminders all set up. Make sure you've got that taken care of. Then you should have some sort of script. Now, while I talk about having a comfortable conversation, and I outlined that in the last episode that I will link below, you do want to have something to follow. I also recommend that you have some prep questions that the client has to fill out to get on the consultation call. And before you actually get on the consultation call, you should look at the answers to those questions and really think about this person. What is going on with them? And whatever your few questions are, that will describe what your client's situation is. Your offer should be decided before the call, not on the call based on what somebody says. So make sure you're comfortable with your offer and your price. Very few people are doing this preparation work. And I'm going to tell you what, strategy is not why people hire you. They hire you because they like you. They hire you because they connect with you. There's many coaches doing the exact same thing that you are doing. The difference is you. So how do you want to show up on a call? If you feel uncertain at all, the other person on the other side of that Zoom screen will feel it and they will sense it. And maybe they won't be able to put their finger on it, but it'll just be like off. Maybe she has what I want, but I don't know, right? It doesn't feel quite right. Even when you are inviting them to do something with you, you're giving them the invitation to work with you, it will feel like convincing. And I can tell you, you cannot invite somebody if you feel like you're desperate. All of that has to be cleaned up before you ever get on the call. This first strategy that I'm going to teach you is something I work with our clients on. It's called the evidence bank. I really want to encourage you to get a document, to get your notes app open, to get a journal and start building evidence of why what you are doing is amazing. A running list of proof that you know how to help people. This could be everything from you documenting that you gave your friend advice and it worked, that somebody liked your post on social media, somebody sending you a message and saying, hey, you know that thing you told me about years ago? That has really helped me. Or you being the go-to person in the office that everybody sends their friend to for relationship help. Whatever that is all evidence. Every time somebody opens your email up, that's evidence that people are interested. Every time they scroll by, all the insights, if you look at the insights, you see how many eyes have been on your post, that is all evidence that somebody is interested in what you are doing. This really does matter because I can tell you what happens. Your brain is going to go into a place of like none of what you're doing is working. You have to combat that with evidence that it is working. Even once you have a business that creates millions of dollars, and I can tell you this firsthand, my business generates millions. You still have to have your mindset right. You still have to look for evidence like everything is always working out for me. And so it does. Most coaches, again, they dismiss this part because they don't think this is important. Your evidence bank is what is going to fuel your confidence. Go back to that before every single call. It's like getting yourself psyched up. This is how you get yourself going. If you feel nervous, it's how you prep your brain like everything is good. Next, I want you to connect to your transformation, your own transformation. Hopefully, if you have your niche right, you are the person who was first transformed by what you're doing. Think about what that is. I always say coaching is priceless, but think about what the value of the transformation that you had is. How do you put a price on that? I hired a coach to help me with weight loss, and I lost 35 pounds. And it was a premium coach that I hired, so it was a big investment. But you know what? How could I even put a value on it? It was worth every single penny and more. It has changed how I feel about myself in ways I never even expected. It's changed the way that I relate to others in my family, how I eat, how I show up as a Gigi and a mom and all those things because I lost weight. Who knew? So how do you put a price on that? You need to decide what is the value of the transformation that you provide. And I'm going to bet compounded over a lifetime, it's immeasurable. And then all the other people that this transformation affects, that's another thing. That is really incredible. So I want you to think about that when you think about getting on this call with somebody like, this is priceless work. You can't even put a value on the transformation that is going to happen for you. Then I want you to think about how you're needed. This is your lived experience. Everything that got you that transformation, all of that, you have a purpose, you have a mission, and somebody else needs your help. This energy that I'm talking about when you have done this work will help you show up in a way that is so different, and your client will feel it. They will hear it. People say to me, Debbie, I see that you are really passionate about what you're doing. I'm like, yes, I am. Does somebody see that about you? Does somebody hear that in your voice? Coaching is one of the most incredible things I can think of for anybody to experience, but do you believe that? Do you believe that it really is of that value? If you don't, my dear one, you better do some coaching and you better get yourself in a place where you love, love, love what you do. And it might mean that you go all the way back to the drawing board and you rework your offer. You look at your niche. If there's not this power behind what you're doing, and if you can't get yourself psyched up, there's something underneath that. And you could journal about that. Just ask yourself, if I did know what the problem was, what is the problem? All right, let's talk about some practical things that you can do. I want you to know about your offer, like deeply know about your offer. I want you to have practiced saying it. You can't say your offer and be like, and you don't have 10 minutes to describe it. You have a couple of minutes to tell somebody, here's what I'm going to do for you. So don't do it on the fly. Make sure you are prepared. And I always talk about going out and rehearsing what you're saying, and I really mean it. Go walk through your neighborhood, talk out loud, say what your offer is. Have that link ready. The payment link has to be ready. All of these things that I'm telling you right now will create confidence for you because you will look like a professional who is ready to go. Know how you're going to onboard people. What is going to be that process? I used to keep a checklist in front of me and I'm like, okay, I told him this and I said this and I said that. I wanted to know that I was covering everything when I brought on a client, that I knew I would do it right. Maybe you need to have a contract in place. Just make sure that you have yourself in a place where you feel good about it. And then know exactly what happens when they say yes. Listen, the last thing you want to do is be like, you want to get it right. As soon as they say yes, you're like, okay, this is the time to take care of this right now. Let me give you the link while we're still on the call. We'll get your first call set up. Let me give you the Zoom link. That is how you get yourself ready. Preparation equals confidence. Confidence equals people trusting you. They will sense that confidence and they will trust you. If they trust you, they are going to be so much closer to saying a yes. Okay, belief work. I work on my mindset every single day. I'm telling you what, I could talk about belief work on every single episode, but I know you guys want strategy, and honestly, mindset work is strategy. But today we'll focus on the belief work that you need to do before you have the consultation call. This is what it looks like. You're telling yourself, my success is inevitable, but only if you believe it. Do you believe that thought? You cannot say the thoughts that you don't believe. If you take something that I'm telling you right now, you try to say it as an affirmation for yourself, it will not work unless you believe it. Do you believe that your success is inevitable? I knew for me, it was like, yes, it's inevitable. I don't know when it's going to happen, but it is inevitable. The right client is on this call. I used to say, like, the right client will be drawn to me. I have everything I need to help this person right now. I always have this in mind when I'm talking to somebody, and it changes the way that I show up. I would think there is no question that anybody can ask me that I don't have an answer for. And if I don't have an answer, I can say, you know what, that's really interesting. Let me get back to you on that. And that's no problem. No problem at all. So make sure that you decide on purpose that you are going to think of yourself as a successful coach before you get there. There is such a different energy in this whole process if you show up as successful on that call. And it does take some mindset work when you've not made $1, when you have nobody who's interested and you finally book a call. It does take some mindset work. The ones who do the mindset work, they're also the ones that win, right? I always say the ones who win don't quit, and it applies with mindset too. Mindset is a part of it. Now, I want to talk to you about your future self identity. Do you guys know about that? The future self? Oh, we love this concept. This is something we do with our clients. Be Your Future Self is a book by Ben Hardy. Actually, I'll leave a link for that in the comments as well. Your future successful self. Who is that? You should know who she is, what she looks like, how she acts, because I want you anchored into that. If you're thinking on the call like, I already am successful, instead of, I'm trying to build my business, right? That's a terrible thought. I'm trying to build my business. It's like, no, I'm the CEO of my coaching company and I am already successful. If you think that way, you will show up completely different. If you're like on the call, I've got one client or no clients, I have all week long to help somebody, that is not the way your future successful self shows up. Your future self shows up like, I have limited time on my schedule, and if you want to make this work, we got to make it happen today. That coach who is nearly fully booked, they are thinking that, look, I'm about out of time. We got to make this work. This is what I mean. When you look like you are super busy, when you talk about, let me check my calendar, and never lie, never lie. I never want you to tell a lie. I don't want you to tell a story. I am talking about showing up differently. Like, let me check my calendar, see what's available. Instead of saying what works for you, you say, here's what I have open. And you let them say, oh, that will work or it won't work. Because your future successful self will have limited time on your calendar. Your future successful self is not desperate. They are not throwing out discounts. They're like, here's what it costs to work with me. And I'm telling you what, it's worth every penny, right? That's kind of the attitude that you want to have. Your future successful self brings that true loving energy. They are listening good, fully engaged, like leaning into the conversation. They are living in this place of knowing that it is inevitable, that they already have created the success that they want. To be a successful coach, that is how you show up. Like, I know it's coming. People will feel it. A fully booked coach does not have to beg. She says, look, I want to invite you to work with me. That is the person that you get to be. When I am on a consultation call with people, I go through their niche. I make sure that I'm comfortable with what their niche is. I make sure I understand their goals. I know what they've tried, what hasn't worked. And then I am like, all right, I want you to work with us. I want to tell you what we do. What we offer is what you need. And then I go into it, right? I'm basically inviting them to come work with me instead of waiting for them to beg me like, oh, how can you help me? So that's a totally different kind of energy. If you are working on your business and you're just stuck, like you're like, I don't even know how to get a consultation call, it might be your niche. It might be your message. It could be the marketing that's not landing. We need to diagnose what the problem is. I need to show you what's possible and talk about how you too can get yourself in a position where it is inevitable that you have success. So let me give you the recap of what I talked about. Building that evidence bank. Go back and find the proof that what you are doing works. Connect with your own transformation. Anchor in the value. It is priceless. Then do the practical steps. Make sure you have the link, all that. Do the belief work. And then show up as your future self. I can tell you that every single day you should be pouring into yourself about how great you are. One last thing I'll say. I always find somebody that I'm like, if that person can do it, I can do it. I've always had that person where I'm like, wait, how did they make that much money? If they've been successful, I know for sure I can. That's a little strategy maybe that would work for you as well. I would challenge you to figure out, what do you have to be thinking to come to a call and be fired up and be certain about what you're doing. This is how you will change the results on your comfortable consultation calls. That is it. Schedule a call with me to talk about what we do. DebbieShadid.com/schedule. I will help you. I will diagnose the problem that you have. We will go back over what it looks like for me to support you. Last thing I'm going to say, If you've not listened to that episode where I really talk about the strategy on the call, that's the call where I talk about those 800 consultation calls, then make sure you do that. I've got that link below. All right. Have a beautiful day. Thank you so much for being here. We'll talk to you very soon. Bye-bye.